Is there a universe outside of Bravo?
Did we miss the training manual to our 30s?
No. Are they for real?
Thank God for our girlfriends. Hi guys, and welcome to a special episode of Structured Chaos with Kelly and Kyra. Today we're going to do something a little different, something we want to do very often, and we're going to have like some more personal topics. So no reality TV in this episode, and it's going to be more about who we are and the life that we experience being women in our 30s.
Yeah, so instead of reality TV, it's just going to be reality. Which is a little scary. So today we're going to talk about dating, which is very scary. As we've mentioned before, we're both single girlies in our 30s, so we've definitely had some experiences, and some good, some bad. We've had different experiences, and I feel like a lot of girls can relate to experiences that we've both had between like dating, online dating, bad dates, breakups, all kinds of things. And we've kind of mentioned different experiences when we've been talking about different shows on episodes and stuff. So we will do more episodes in the future also on different dating topics. And if you have anything specific you want to hear about, definitely let us know. But for today, we're going to each tell like a personal dating story. And we don't know each other's stories, so that'll be entertaining as well. It'll be a new experience for all of us. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I will start off by saying that luckily in my dating life experience, which I have been on a lot of dates, one thing about me, like anyone who knows me knows, like I love, and I also like don't get caught up in things, and I'm always willing to go on a date with a person, meet a person, I am really good at that. But I will say, like, I think differently to Kelly, I really haven't been on a lot of bad dates. I mean, I've been on dates that I don't want to see them again, but it wasn't because like it was like a bad date. I just like know myself enough to know like when I'm not going to be into a person. So I have always been very entertained by Kelly's stories. Because they are good. And I just, every time, like, she'll tell me something, I'm like, how? Just like, I've never experienced that before. So we're going to tell like bad dating stories today. And like I said, I don't have a ton of them, but I do have this like one specific one. I've never like needed a date to end so badly. Like I've never like I was like I just need this to be over. Like it just from the beginning wasn't great, and then it just progressively got worse. This was probably, I don't even know, like 6 years ago. No, it couldn't have been that long. Maybe like 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because I think it was like post breakup of my long relationship. I met this guy online, and we went on a date, and we first started at this Mexican restaurant near my house. So we go and we each get a margarita, and it's just taking a little bit of memory. He had wanted to go because we were going to get food. And so he was like, I'm in the mood for Mexican food, so let's go here. I'm like, perfect, right near my house, no problem. So we go, we get there, we get a drink, and he was like, do you want to eat right now? And I was like, I don't know, like, sure, but it's not necessary, like, because he like wanted to do other things. So it wasn't like he was like, if we don't eat now, we're never gonna have an opportunity. But it was like, I was like, I guess like we don't have to eat. But I just kept remember like looking at him being like, God, I feel like, is he already drunk? Like, and it was like
Mhm.
afternoon. Like it was like not evening or anything, but whatever time it is, like if you're going on a date, you shouldn't be drunk arriving. You
Right.
know?
But it
So
is always awkward if, like, on a first date, someone is kind of off because you're like, well, this is our first time meeting. So you don't really know, like, it's just how they
right.
are, or
Right.
you don't know.
Oh, I also want to preface everything with being a hairstylist for 18 years has allowed me the opportunity to like really understand people. And I just like have essentially been studying people, you know, and their behaviors and patterns and things like that. So I am really good at picking up social cues and like feeling my intuition and like putting things together. So yeah, like I said, I'm literally just like, I don't know, like something is off. So we have one drink there and he's like, let's not eat here. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. You had said that you wanted tacos really bad, but okay. And so we end up going to Dave and Buster's. So we go to Dave and Buster's and we have another drink there. And like he's visibly drunk at this point. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, we had one drink there and we just had one drink here. Oh. And he ordered a shot. And like, I'm not a shot girly. And I'm like, this is like aggressive.
That's
Like,
aggressive for a
yes.
afternoon first date.
Yes. So it's like
Unless you're both, like, on the same
on the
page.
same page, like we're like, you know, we're doing something like a sporting event or what, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we're just like ready to have like a Sunday fun day or something. But it was not that at all. I think it was like a Thursday, like it was like a weekday.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, what is up with this guy? And he's like doing all these like weird things. And I'm like, is he like on drugs? Like, but he like hadn't gone to the bathroom or anything. So I know he wasn't like, you know, going in the bathroom to sniff a line real quick, you know, like I was like, okay, but like, it seemed like, did he take a pill before? I didn't know. So I'm just like, okay. And so we go, we play games and we have one more drink before we go. And I'm just like, I don't think he should have another drink, but okay. So, and he gets another shot. And I'm just like, oh my God. And like, I do, like, of course I drink, but I don't drink like that. Like, I'm not a drinker like that. I'd much rather eat mushrooms or smoke weed. Like, I'm not that type of drinker. So I'm just like, oh my God. And so while we're playing games, before we get this last drink, he was like, do you want to eat here? Do you want to eat here? And I was like, okay, like, sure. So he asked the bartender, he's like, how are your tacos? Are your tacos good? And before he had asked the server, I was like, I feel like their tacos are not good. Like, this is Dave and Buster's. Like, we live in San Diego. Like, this isn't where I'm going if I'm like in the mood to get a good taco.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel like they're probably not gonna be good. He proceeds to ask, and she's like, no, like they're not like the best. And he's like, I really want tacos. And I was like, okay, I want to go home. So he was like, actually, I want Italian food. I really want pasta. And I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, oh, there's this Italian place literally across the street from my house. Like, I could just, you know, like short way home. So we get an Uber, we go to the Italian restaurant, and like he is like slurring words at this point. Yeah, like I'm just like, where am I? Like,
were you guys having like good conversation? Like, what's happening like on the date? Like, are you talking about things?
yeah, we're talking, we're playing games, like we're like talking shit to one another, you know, like cute banter, you know, who's gonna win. I beat him in like 4 games. Yeah, asking me about myself. Oh, he did try to kiss me, and I was like, no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
okay. Yep, thank you. Because I'm just like, I'm not going to be mean to someone, you know, and so I'm just going to like politely just try to keep moving this along. Like I can talk to anyone, so it's like not a problem there. But I'm like ready to go, you know, like I'm just like this, we're going nowhere, and I literally never want to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the Italian restaurant, and he's like belligerent by this point. And he's like talking to the servers like so rudely. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, if we could just like sit over in the bar area, because they like their bar area is like off to the side. And again, it was like an afternoon. So like no one was in there yet. And the whole Uber ride, he's talking about how he wants Italian food. He cannot wait to eat Italian food. We sit down. The server comes and he's like, do you guys have tacos? I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I literally got up and walked my ass home. I was like, no fucking way. I've never walked out of a date before. I wouldn't do that. Like, I think that that's rude. I couldn't stand to be around this person anymore. The way he was talking with people, how belligerent he was, like how he was just like saying one thing and then doing another.
That's
like
such an ick.
I was so embarrassed. Like I literally, and it took him probably 20 minutes to realize that I had gone. And so then he's like texting me and I was like, I'm good. Like I went home and he was like, well, where do you live? Like, let me come see you. And I was like, in no world. I literally just walked out on you. And you think that we're going to follow up with, come on over. Let's watch a movie or something.
You're like, this isn't a scavenger hunt. Like, I'm not playing hide and seek.
No. And then like, I didn't block his number because I don't care. Like, I'm not going to block your, like, I'm not going to talk to you, you know?
Yeah.
And like for like a week, he kept trying to like take me on another date, never apologized, never even like acknowledged, like, was I like really drunk last night, you know, or yesterday? And then I want to say like 6 months ago, maybe I like pulled out of my street and he was walking down the street. Like I mean, he's a very good looking man. That's the caveat to this. Like, God damn it. Like, he's a very good looking man. And so I saw him and I knew it was him right away. And I'm just like, nope.
I wonder, do you know if he like lives near you?
He didn't at the time. He didn't live like super, super far from me, but he must live in he was like in one of like the surrounding neighborhoods. So yeah.
Weird. Well, I mean,
yeah.
That's so bizarre that he just didn't even acknowledge it like the next day or whatever and acted like, and he was not embarrassed, like to keep pursuing you as if
we had just the most wonderful date.
No shame.
Like when he ever asked for tacos, I was like,
and that's okay. It's a huge ick to me when people are like rude to a server or anything like that. That's like a huge ick. But also if it's like your neighborhood spot that you like to go to, it's like, oh, absolutely not. You're not going to ruin this for me and you're not going to make me look bad because you're a damn mess. And
RIP to the restaurant. It's not there anymore. So yeah, like I said, gratefully in life, I have not gone on many bad dates. That was certainly one that will forever stick in my mind. I mean, also it's like, we're not in our 20s. Why are you behaving this way?
I don't know. On the other hand, I have been on, I could count on one hand how many good dates I've been on. I could count on half of one hand how many good dates I've been on. I could count on one finger, probably. So, when we decided to do this topic, I was like, oh my God, I mean, how many episodes are we going to do? Because I could keep the stories coming, and I will. In future episodes, do not worry. Because Kyra was like, well, Kyra was like, I have one bad date story. And I was like, okay, well, I'll start us off with one as well. And then we'll branch off into a year-long segment. No, but I would definitely consider this my worst first date. And I feel like it also happened probably around the same time frame that you just said, Well, it happened right before COVID, I would say, because the ending part that I'll get into happened during quarantine. And that was like probably a year after the date. So meet this guy on an app, I don't know, probably Bumble. And we're chatting it up for a couple of days, and we decide that for our first date, we are going to go to the Little Italy farmers market, which I think is like such a cute date, right?
Mhm.
Because daytime, and there's like things to talk about. You're walking around. It's like cute. Okay.
You could buy my groceries for the week.
Perfect. So, and he lived in Little Italy. So the plan was that I was going to meet him, not like at his house, but like on his street. He was going to come outside, and then we were going to go. So, and then, and he had a dog. So he was going to bring his dog and whatever. So, and I like, just for some background, I don't like dating, and I don't like first dates. I know Kyra said, she likes to go out on a lot of dates, or, she does go out on a lot of dates. I personally don't. I do like meeting people and talking to people sometimes. Well, no, I don't really, actually. I like talking to people that I know and that I'm friends with. I don't like the initial first, yeah. But I would say, like you being a hairstylist and talking to different people all the time, in my career, I also, every situation that I'm in at work is a new situation, a new person that I'm talking to. So I'm very much can talk to anyone and figure it out. But I would say as I've gotten older, I'm kind of like, I don't really want to. Because I think this, like, my dating experiences have like led me to be like, I'm over it. Like, I just don't want to meet new people. Anyways, that's just like a little bit of background. So anyways, this was a while ago when I was still kind of like, oh, let me give it a chance. But I liked the fact that he was going to bring a dog, and there's like kind of things to like talk about other than just sitting at dinner, because I do have like social anxiety, which people are like shocked by, but I used to be very introverted when I was younger, and I still kind of am, and people don't believe that, but I am before I get to know people. So that's all just to say I was happy about these elements of the date. So I get to his building, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. So he comes out and he greets me with a hug and immediately slaps my ass as he's hugging me. So it's like, hello, nice to meet you, slaps my ass. And I was like, oh.
I'm just going to ask a quick question, and I know I'm going to get hate for this. Was he in the military?
No.
I'm sorry, military men. It's just like that would be on par.
I was going to say I had learned my lesson about military men at that point. I thought I had, yeah.
Turns out I didn't.
I had learned
that I'm a slower learner than I thought.
I had learned an initial lesson. Yeah. So, no, he was not. So, I was like stunned because like, hello, what? And it wasn't like, oh, you accidentally like grazed. Not that you could. It was very blatant.
It was intentional.
Some people, and I thought this was going to be your question, and I'm glad it wasn't, but some people, when I tell the story, they're like, why wouldn't you just like leave? And it's like, well, it's just like, that's awkward. And also, I'm sorry, but if you're a male listening to this, you don't understand. But like, as a woman, we're often in situations where it's just like, you don't want to be like overreactive. And it's also so easy when you're not in the situation to think like, oh, well, I would have just been like, what the fuck? Or like, I would have just left. And of course, thinking about it now, I would love to be like, oh, I would have just been like, okay, no, I'm leaving. But when you're in the moment, you just feel like, okay, I don't want to be crazy or whatever, even though it wouldn't have been crazy for me to be like, okay, don't touch me, I'm leaving. But I don't know.
I wouldn't have left, but I definitely would have said something. That I know I would have. And I wouldn't have said it in a mean way or anything. I would have just been like, oh, we're doing that. Like,
yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said because, like I said, this was like 6 years ago, but I made like some type of remark about it, like in a joking way.
Yeah, that
like,
I would do. But yeah, I wouldn't have left either. No,
right.
I would have just made it apparent,
yeah,
okay,
it was uncomfortable.
okay. Yeah.
But I made it was like, I made it into a joke, kind of like, oh, okay, like we're friendly or so, something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then
just
like, okay, hello. So then I'm like, wow, I'm like, really
smacked his dog's ass.
So also before the date, another thing that I did, I told him that I had a nail appointment at a certain time, which I did, but like as it out, because that's another, not only am I a planner, but I'm like, okay, I like to have a reason to end the date. Not that you have to have a reason, but for me, especially a day date.
Kelly and I are so different.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm like, I need everything planned out. And if you go on a date, the date starts at like 11 a.m., this farmer's market date, okay? I'm thinking like, okay, if the date's not going well, I don't want to have to be like, okay, I want to leave. I just want to be like, okay, I have to go to my appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this all planned in my head. Yes, it's exhausting to live in this brain. It is. It is. Okay, it is. You don't have to wonder. It is. But I'm used to it. So anyways, I had the appointment planned out. Anyways, so, and then I was like, if the date's going well, then you just cancel the appointment. Well, thank God I had that. So I'm immediately thinking, well, okay, how long do we have until this is over? So we start walking, and we're walking down the street towards the farmer's market, and we're chatting, and I asked him something, I can't remember exactly, but it was something about where he was from. And he tells me, and then he goes, that was in my bio, and slaps my ass again.
Kelly.
Okay, this is like literally the most G-rated part of anything. So this is a non. Okay, so we get to the farmer's market. Yeah, it's like not even worth. Like I shouldn't have even mentioned that part. So we get to the farmer's market, and I'm just like, okay, like let's just start going on through. So we're going, and you know how people like sell different like herbs and like basil leaves and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So his dog walks over and starts peeing on this display. And I was mortified. I walked away. Like I was like, oh, absolutely not. This man better buy this whole entire shop.
100%.
And this is not my dog. I am not associated with this. And I was like, I don't own a dog. I mean, I did when I was younger, but we didn't bring it to farmers markets and let it piss all over stuff. So I was like, I don't even know what you're supposed to do, but.
Well, first of all, as someone who has always had a dog, that's not okay. But
no.
You can bring your dog to a farmer's market, and if your dog does do some dog thing, you're paying for it.
Absolutely. So he walked over there, and I don't know what he did. I couldn't even look. I was so mortified. I was like, oh, he better have like bought their whole business for them, because I don't know. So anyways, I swear to God, I walked halfway across the thing. I was like, I will not be associated with that. So then he like comes over. So anyways, we're walking, and it's like,
Does he acknowledge what just happened?
No, I pretended like I didn't even like know him. I just could not. And when I say pretend I didn't know him, I just like pretended. I didn't pretend it didn't happen, but I kind of did, because I was so mortified that I was like, if this man tells me that like he didn't do anything,
right?
I don't like. I will feel. I don't know. I just.
Yep.
Okay, so we keep walking. I don't even remember at this point, like 6 years ago. I don't remember what we were talking about. we're walking along, and there's like so many things at the farmer's market. I always just kind of like looking at stuff and whatever. Probably just talking about, you know, the different vendors there. So there is a dog park like at the end of where the farmer's market is. And so I was kind of like, oh, like, let's go to the dog park. So that's like something where I can like get away from you. So we walk all the way down there, we go into the dog park, and I'm standing like away from him and kind of like playing with the other dogs. And
Are you being a foster mom to dogs in the state?
at this point, I am a foster dog. I'm like, someone take me home, please. And I'm just looking around for my new family.
I wish I had 4 legs and could get the fuck out of there. Run free.
I'm like throwing balls for other dog, and like he'll like start walking over to me, and I'm just like, oh, look at this little dog over here.
Kelly's like definitely allergic to dogs. She doesn't even care. She's breaking out in hives.
I'm like swelling up. I can't breathe. I'm like, no, it's fine. I love it here. No, I'm not allergic to dogs. But so anyways, we're there, and then he walks over to me, and he like goes to whisper something in my ear, and I kind of like went like that because first of all, why are you whispering? Like, there's no one around us. But also, like, you know when like it kind of like tickles when someone does that? So I kind of like went like that. And so he said, like, he doesn't whisper. And he says, like, I wish I was fingering you right now.
At a dog park?
It's 11:30 a.m.
This is what gets you turned on?
I was like, oh. I'm like, oh my God. And I mean,
like, I'm telling you, I don't understand how these things happen.
I don't either. At this point, I'm exhausted. Like, I'm telling you, at this point, the amount, like, because I'm telling you, this is like my worst first date, but like, I have been on other bad dates, and I'm just like exhausted by.
You're like, my nail person's calling. They actually moved my appointment up. I have to go
I'm
right
like,
now.
What is the command to make a dog attack me? Like, get them to do it all at once. Like, throw a steak on me. Because so then I was like, I don't think I said anything because what do you say? And then I was like, I think it's time to go, like to start walking back. And so we start walking out of the dog park, and so we walk out, me and him, and the person behind us, when they walked out, someone's dog ran out of the dog park. And so like they accidentally let someone's dog out. And when we were walking out, there was like these people standing outside of the dog park that were like, oh my God. I don't think they like realized we were coming out of the dog park. And this woman said something like, oh, people don't put their dogs on leashes or something like that. Like, she didn't realize the dog had run out of the dog park. And I was like, oh, you know, actually it just escaped from the dog park. Like, I was just kind of like explaining it to her as we were walking by. And he looks at me and he goes, what did she say? And I was like, oh, I was just like telling her the dog escaped. Like, I wish I could. And he was like, you should have just said, shut the fuck up, bitch. And she would have never and she would have never talked to you like that again. First of all,
How old is this man?
he was older than me. And I was, okay, if this was...
Does he have friends?
I don't know. And there's something I wish that I could say on here, but I can't because it's a distinguishing like feature that I could tell you, but I can't say it on here.
Does he have a tattoo on his arm that says "fuck off" people? With a smiley face?
Nobody. Well, actually, I guess I can say this. I just can't say like where it is. But he has a knife mark, like a knife slash.
You're better than me.
Okay, so he says that, and I'm like, first of all, this woman, she's never going to talk to me again in general because I don't know her. Second of all, she wasn't talking to me. I spoke to her, and she wasn't like being rude to me. She just said, yeah, she wasn't doing anything. And third of all, I don't like speak to people like that. So I'm not going to be like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like,
bitch.
Again,
also, I just would like to like just picture like walking out of a dog park in Little Italy during the farmer's market, and you're just like, shut the fuck up, bitch. What?
It is before noon.
What?
On a Saturday.
No. That.
And I'm like, you just wanted to finger me, and now you're wanting to like get me killed. And so again, I mean, at this point, it's like, yes, why aren't you leaving the date? But like, I am leaving the date. It's
right.
like we've been leaving the date. We're on the way back to the car. You know, like we're leaving the date. But so finally, like, okay, I'm just like, what the fuck? So we're walking back, but it takes a while because now we have to walk back. And even if I was like, okay, yeah, gotta go, it's like we're walking to the same place. So it's like,
right.
Okay, bye. And then let's walk together for 25 minutes.
You just scurry along.
Yeah.
Actually, go behind him.
Right. So we're still walking together, but just to give the audience context, like, I am leaving the date. This is actively the end of the date. So we're leaving, and I'm like, yep, gotta get back to my car. So we walk, but it's like 20 minutes probably to get back. So we reach his building first before my car because like I had parked a block away, whatever. So we get to his building, and I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, goodbye. Bye. And he was like, oh, let me go put my dog inside, and then I'll walk you to your car. And I was like, oh no, I'm good. And he was like, oh, are you sure? And I was like, yep, broad daylight. It's a block away. Totally good. And he was
I walked to your door by myself. I can walk away from your door by myself.
Yep. And he was like, okay, like, it was great meeting you. And I was just like,
I could say the same.
Okay, I'm glad I'm still alive. And goodbye. And so as I'm walking away,
oh God,
I feel my phone vibrate.
Oh God.
And I don't look at it because I'm like, he's watching me walk away to my car. So I'm just like, he's obviously sending me a message. So I just walk to my car, whatever, get in my car. Get in my car. He had texted me the eggplant and the peach. And I'm like, this man, like,
who is
thought,
it?
Like,
this is the issue with things like that. Who is it working for? Who is that working for? That you keep doing it because it's obviously worked.
Right.
I can't begin to relate.
What part of this date, like, went well?
Led you to believe, can't wait to see you again.
No part of the date went well. It's not like we were having a great time and then just the ending was weird, or like.
But also, too, why are you sending that emoji? Why, like,
right? Like, even if the date was great, why would that be? So I didn't respond. Obviously, I drive to my nail appointment, which was in Del Mar. So it took me a while to get to Del Mar. So I sit down at the nail appointment, pull out my phone, and since I hadn't responded, he texts again and says, "Or not." And I'm like, okay, let me just end this.
Yeah.
So I respond, and I'm like fully expecting him to like flip out because obviously he has a short temper after hearing him tell me to tell this woman to shut the fuck up. And so I'm like, oh,
Going
God.
forward, that's going to be my only advice to you.
No matter what anyone says. Should have said, shut the fuck up. That's what I should have told those people who were singing happy birthday. Shut the fuck up, bitch. So, I'm like, okay, listen. It was great meeting you. Even obviously it wasn't, but I'm like, okay, it was great meeting you, but I think we're on different pages, or we're looking for different things. I'm not interested in seeing you again.
Mm-hmm.
And so he responded like, no worries, I understand. Like something very like
Generic
nice and understanding.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Great.
Didn't expect that. Great. Perfect. Put it in my purse. Enjoyed my nail appointment. So you would think it's over.
We're done. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So like you mentioned, you didn't block the one you went on the date with. Because why? So I didn't block this guy because I'm not going to talk. You didn't do anything like, okay, I'm not going to block you. So later that night, I'm minding my own business at home alone, as I prefer to be after this day that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And this man sends me a video.
No.
And
I already know.
It's a video of him and another girl. No. Not what you said. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's illegal and offensive and disturbing and so many things. And I was like shocked and stunned and like disgusted.
I'm shocked and stunned.
Yeah. So I like it was he sent it to me on Instagram. So it was like in a DM. And so like obviously when it says you have a message from someone, like I didn't know what the message was before I clicked on it. I can't remember. Yeah, because it shows like you have a message or something. And it was back 6 years ago, so it was different than how messages are now. But whatever it was like I clicked on it and then immediately I was like, oh my God, like what the hell? And so I clicked out of it and I was like, why the fuck would you send me that? And his response, you don't like anal? So, okay, so then I block him, obviously. Blocked on Instagram, block his number, just like, you're disgusting. Like, I didn't even respond. I just block. So that was it. Like, just, I was disgusted and you're blocked.
I am baffled.
Okay, so that's not even the end. So that was the day of the date. That was in like 2019. So then we fast forward to like, we're in quarantine, 2020 era, COVID. I had not blocked him on the San Diego Scout because I had never spoken to him about the San Diego Scout. He didn't like, so I don't know. I just didn't block him on there. So this is like a year later during quarantine. I go and I have a DM from him on the San Diego Scout. Oh, God. It is a video of just him this time. Thank God. Which
Is it?
Yeah, because he's not like exposing someone else against their will. But I mean, yeah, it's sad when you're saying thank God, but you know what I mean. So it is this man in his living room and he has shorts on, no shirt. The video starts, he's just like standing in his living room. He takes his shorts off so that he's naked. He grabs 2 dumbbells and starts just like doing bicep curls. I haven't spoken to this man in like a year at this point. And the only interaction I had with him the year prior was the date that I just told you of.
Like, I literally do not have words. The audacity, the everything. Like, sir.
How many girls do you think got that
Sir.
video?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Well, attempted a lot. Who actually received it? Probably not as many because he's probably blocked by multiple people.
I
What?
mean,
Also, let's pretend you guys had a great date, okay? But you guys just like wasn't for you, you know, whatever. None of that other wild fucking shit happened. Was that supposed to turn you on? Was that supposed to like get you to be like, oh, well, thank God you're here. Like wow. Oh my God. This is just the video I needed while the whole world is being shut down. And like, thank you. Thank you for getting me by today. What's your availability in the next couple of days? I'd love to, catch up.
yeah, because I've been quarantining alone and this is exactly
I would
what I
love to
needed.
get a quick pump in, with someone like you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like Kelly again. I just keep circling back to how do these things happen?
I don't know.
You go on a first date with someone and they send you a video fucking someone else, and their response is you don't like anal.
I was just trying to go to the farmer's market.
You asked me if I needed any flowers from the farmer's market.
I know. I'm like, I didn't even get my produce for the week. I didn't even get anything from the farmer's market.
Guess what I got? The ick. I got abused verbally and sexually. Like,
it was, I got nothing positive.
Oh, my day doesn't seem bad at all. I'll take a drunk man asking for tacos at an Italian restaurant any day.
That sounds like a dream. Like, hello? Where is that man? Go find him walking down your street and ask him if he would do me the honor of taking me on a date.
I would be like, but just a heads up, she's not into anal, so don't ask.
But please, would you just please take her out? Because she just wants to go on a date.
I don't care if you get drunk.
I don't care. I don't care if you want tacos or Italian. Please.
Wow.
So that's just one of many. That definitely was the worst. And just the fact that it just dragged on. So now you see why when I was like, yeah, he slapped my ass, like that's not even a... That was just
I wish that's all that it was.
I wish. And I wish I would have left. But, then we wouldn't have had a story.
I will say he's consistent, if nothing less. And the guy likes ass. He's really...
So the theme was consistent throughout. Mm-hmm. That is true.
He knows who he is at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
I could, but I also will say, I feel like because you've had bad dates is like an indication of why you don't like to go on dates.
Exactly. Like I
wouldn't want to go on dates either.
No. I'm tired. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Because I'm like,
hey.
Can't fucking do it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You make mine sound like a good first date.
Really? Like I would have fucking married that guy. Shoot. I'm like, we're having our reception at this Italian restaurant. Maybe they'd still be in business.
Well, he's going to ask for Mexican while he's there. So
fuck it.
Sure they have both.
Maybe if they would have had tacos, they would still be in business. Amateurs.
Oh my gosh.
So I would love to know from our listeners, well, I mean, if you're a listener from San Diego, maybe you received that same video from that guy. He obviously made his way around. Yeah, so let me know. But no, like if you like basically have any funny dating stories, we'd love to
we need to hear
hear.
them. Yes.
And also, if you want to hear more funny dating stories, I've got plenty. So let us know. And if there's specific dating topics that you want to hear about, we have some that we already know that we'll talk about for sure, like just dating in general and kind of how it is in our 30s and things like that. But if you have specific things you want to hear about, let us know so that we can do that.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly. Or if you have like questions, not that we are the
gurus.
Yeah, clearly not. We're figuring it out.
I will say though that we are in like a very unique position in life because like most of my friends are either in serious relationships, married, and have children. So
Same.
they all do live vicariously through me,
Mhm.
which is fun. And like, but sometimes I'm like, ugh, I'm just like at this place in my life where like I don't love to date anymore. Like I do love to date. I still love, but like I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. I feel like it is interesting because we're both single. We both love. We've both had very different experiences with it. And even though we've both had like good experiences, bad experiences, whatever, we both still like believe in love and know that it's out there for us and all those things. But yeah, we both like have different approaches to dating and things like that because of our past experiences with it. So I think it'll be interesting the more we talk about it, just to kind of like share our different experiences and see how like different people can relate to different things that we have to share. So I'll be interested to hear what the listeners want to hear about and what experiences they have to share as well.
Really quickly, I would like to hear what is your biggest dating pet peeve?
Well, I think on a date, which I kind of briefly said this earlier, is if someone is rude to like a server or something, that is like a huge pet peeve to me. Just rude to people in general, but specifically like if you're at a restaurant and they're rude to a server. But for just overall for dating, I think just like flakiness or kind of, and I think that's really common with the apps because people have so many options that it's kind of like they'll start a conversation with someone and then just not taking it seriously. And when I say seriously, I don't mean like you need to be like committed to the person.
Correct.
But I just think it's like rude to waste people's time. Like we're adults. So I don't want to have a surface level, "Hi, how's your day?" with someone that like has no interest in going on a date. Or anything. So I think it's annoying when people start these conversations and then either stop responding after 2 messages or immediately say like, "Oh, come over." No, I'm a grown woman. I'm not coming over to hang out. That's not a date. When I was on the dating apps, which I haven't been like this whole year, but when I was, my profile clearly said I'm looking for a relationship. Like I'm intentional about that. So what part of that gives I'm going to come over to a stranger's home before ever meeting you? No. So I just like the laziness and the lack of intention and the just like I sent this message to every girl and I'm just going to see which one says yes. Like that is a huge ick and a pet peeve and not cute. What about you?
Honestly, a lot of the same as you. I would say like on a date, biggest pet peeve is not asking me questions about myself. I think that like again, I'm really good at having a conversation. I can lead a conversation. And so there's never going to be an awkward silence. Like I'm always going to be saying something. But if you're not like asking me and initiating a question and like really like showing interest, like I'm immediately like, okay, I'm gonna get us through this date and I'm gonna carry us on out, but like I'm good. Like you have enough to know that you should like want to get to know me.
Right. Otherwise, what's the point?
Right. So yeah, that would be like on a date, biggest pet peeve. Just dating in general, pet peeve would be inconsistency. And like I just think that men don't take you seriously when you say you just want honesty. And it's like, it's so funny because my friends and I actually, we had this discussion the other night. When we were at Friendsgiving, I got to my friend's house earlier and it was just me, her, and one of our guy friends. And we're all single. And we were talking about like, no, I'm telling you right now, like when I say I want you to tell me the truth, like I want you to tell me the truth. And the guy, like our guy friend was like, women don't really mean that. And I'm like, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always say like anything, if you're honest with me about something and like, I'm not like, this could be the littlest to the biggest, like there's an opportunity for a conversation. So if I'm telling you that I'm not going to say anything to you that I don't want to know. Like if I don't want you to do a certain thing, then I'm not going to say you should do this, like, you know,
Right.
But like, so like, I think in general in dating, like, yeah, like consistency, like inconsistency and like saying that you want something, but then you do like your actions prove another. And like, then if I call you out for it, like I like for you to get offended that I called you out for it or be like, oh, well, we're not anything. And it's like, when did I claim that we were? Like,
right.
I didn't think that you responding to a message, like, was me saying like, should we go to City Hall and get our license? Like,
right. When men act like because I want common respect and decency, that means that I'm like, oh, she wants a relationship.
We're gonna get our names tattooed on each other.
We're nothing. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can't respect people that you're not in a relationship with. That's so weird.
Also, like, I'm gonna be 37. Like, I tell everyone, like, I don't need a boyfriend. Like, I don't need a title. Like, if you're
that sounds so childish. Like at a certain age, boyfriend. Like,
well, here's my thing. It's like if you're gonna be my boyfriend at this point in time, like, then you're gonna be my fiance and you're gonna be my husband. Like that. Like I'm in that era. Like, I don't need a boyfriend. So like, no. Like, and I'm also not someone who moves quickly. Like, I love love. Like I will give you 100% from the beginning and like it chips away based on like your actions. But like I'm all in and like I'm going to act 100% myself. So I hate when men are like, oh, well, like we're just getting to know each other. I'm like, what made you think we weren't? What made you think I was on a different page? I have zero unrealistic expectations.
Mm-hmm. And I don't expect anything that I'm not willing to give. Like
100%.
I know what I bring to the table and I don't expect someone else to give more, but I have high expectations because I know that I bring a lot. So if you can't live up to that,
and
sorry.
Just one more thing, because I know that Tim loves a woman who cooks and cleans. Like I do that. So I do bring that to the table. And I bake, cook, clean, bake.
So nice. I don't. I will clean, but I'm a career girl. Not that you're not. Girl? I know. That's why I said not that you're not, but I'm just saying career and I choose to not want to cook.
I feel that. I feel that for sure.
I'm a career and clean type girl.
I love it.
So yeah.
So this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So I hope that our listeners enjoyed it and want to hear more of these, a little switch up from the reality TV episodes, which obviously we will still have coming your way every week as well. But yeah.
God bless Kelly and her dating life.
Yeah. Currently taking a long hiatus from dating, but I don't have any new news stories, but
if anyone's looking for a naked workout buddy, Kelly will send you his info if you need it.
Yeah, about that. But let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you next week. Bye.